All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Math Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to go to the next type of partial fractions. So this is partial fractions with the ax plus b raised to power 2 factors, okay? If you've not reviewed my previous video on the 5 rules of partial fractions, you need to do that. Also, review the linear factors as well. Also, I also talked about the substitution method and the coefficient of terms method, as well as the combination of both. So if you've not reviewed it, let's go back and have a look. So now we have a partial fraction with ax plus b raised to power 2 factors. So you can see that the denominator here is raised to power of 2. So, and this is similar to the one I talked about in the video, where I say ax plus b raised to power 2, where it has to be a over ax plus b over ax plus b raised to power 2, right? So similarly, with this question as well, we have to do the same thing. So this is going to be 35x minus 14 divided by 7x minus 2. So it's going to be 7x minus 2 squared, and that will give you a over what? 7x minus 2 plus b over 7x minus 2 raised to power 2. And you see, now we do the same thing. So the first question you ask yourself is so assume that you already know the step 1 already, that from here you can see that power of the denominator is x2 is already less than that of the numerator. So that's the step 1. So that's why I didn't talk about it. But something that after so much practice, it becomes so used to you and you just know, oh, it's fine. You move up to the next one. Then after we've expressed it as what they call it, prime factors of the partial fraction. The next thing, like I told you, then you have to multiply both sides, okay? So it's going to be 35x minus 14 over 7x minus 2 squared multiplied by the denominator. So I told you have to multiply the denominator of both sides with 7x minus 2 all squared, and that'll be equal to a over 7x minus 2 multiplied by the denominator to both sides, 7x minus 2 all squared, plus, and the b is going to be b over 7x minus 2 squared multiplied by 7x minus 2 all squared. Then as usual, like I told you, you then simplify. This will cancel that. So now give you 35x minus 14 is equal to, and this we just cancel one of this. Can you see? So now give you a 7x minus 2 plus, this we cancel that plus b. Okay, so now when you look at this, for example, now you see I want to use substitution method here, but you will notice something, that substitution is not possible because there is no number I can put here that is going to give me 0. Oh, I can if I want to use 2 over 7, okay? But if I use 2 over 7, all this will become 0, then I can now work with this, okay? So if I make x to be 2 over 7, all this will become 0, then I can get my b here. Is that making sense? So let's do that. So for this to be 0, x has to be 2 over 7. So I think I can use another new slide so that it will be clean. So it will be 35. What I go with 35x minus 14 is equal to a 7x minus 2 plus b. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to let x to be 2 over 7, okay? So it's going to be, so I think at this point, I should just make it known how easy to do it. So you just basically equate this to be equal to 0. That's how I got the 2 over 7. So that means for this to be equal to 0, you take 2 to the other side. So 7x equal to 2, then divide both sides by 7. So therefore, x is going to be 2 over 7. All right. So with that being, so we can substitute x to be 2 over 7, and that will give us 0. So with 2 over 7, then it's going to be 30. So we'll say let's x to be equal to 2 over 7. All right. So it's going to be 35 into brackets 2 over 7 minus 14 is equal to a 7 into brackets 2 over 7 minus 2 plus b. All right. Now, 7 here, 5. 5 times 2 will give you 10 minus 14 is equal to, all this will become what? 0, b. So therefore, the b now is going to be equal to what? Minus 4. Okay? And b is equal to minus 4. Easy. Now, we found our b to be equal to minus 4. Now, how are we going to find our a? Does that make sense? So now the next method I would like to use here is the coefficient of terms method, all right? So that I can get our a. So it's going to be, we have 35x minus 14. You open the bracket, it's going to give you 7ax minus 2a, then plus what? b. Okay, so like I told you the last time, we can then simplify this to be 7ax minus 2a minus b is equal to 35x minus 14. So what do you now do next? Then for this to be equal to this, so that means 35. So we'll first start with the coefficient of x. Okay, coefficient of x. So that means 35, the coefficient of x, will be equal to 7a. Can you see? So therefore, you divide both sides by 7. So therefore, a is going to be equal to what? 5. And that will be the answer for that. Okay, so you can also use minus 14 to be equal to minus 2a minus b, and substitute b to be minus 4, and you get the same thing. So now with that, now we are done. So we just go back to the initial partial fraction we had. So the partial fraction we had was a over 7x minus 2 and b over 7x minus 2 all squared. So that means I can now say the initial question that was 35x minus 14 over 7x minus 2 all squared, that was equal to a over 7x minus 2 plus b over 7x minus 2 all squared. So then, since I now know my a to be 5 over 7x minus 2 plus my b is minus 4 over 7x minus 2 all squared. Now, because this is minus times plus, it's going to make this minus now, okay? So if I want to remove the minus, then I have to make this minus. And this will be the answer for the partial fraction, okay? And that'll be that for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve maybe one more example in the next video on this. Then I'm now going to go to the one that has ax plus b raised to the power 3. So in conclusion, what I said, the same thing. If it's an ax plus b raised to the power 2 factor, it's going to be ax plus b raised to the power 2. Then you first check if the degree of the denominator is lower than that of the numerator. Then when you've done that, you now multiply both sides by the denominator. It cancels out. Then you now get the expression or the equation you're looking out for. Then you use the substitution method to take some away, to take all the constants away, leaving just one. Then when you do that, you can use the coefficient of x to get the other one. All right. Okay. I think that is that. So I'm going to go to the next video where I'm going to solve one more example on this before I go to ax plus b raised to the power 3. And if you have any question, feel free to let me know, all right? And drop an email and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much.